Hey you, so on this video, why silver will stay low in price for the next 10 years plus. I wanted to talk on that and just give my thoughts and opinions on just exactly that. As of recent, a few people have been mentioning in the comments that they believe silver's going to be down in the dumps for the double digits I just mentioned and even some more. So if you're one of those people that's left comments in the past or you have the same thought or sentiment, please go ahead and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments as to why you think that. And that's one of the big ones, why it was put out there for you to go ahead and leave in the comments as to why you think that is. And I'll also do the same. But, you know, once again, if you like what you hear and you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. But I just wanted to go over that and just give my own thoughts and opinions while I'm showing my silver. So I'm still a silver advocate. I'm still knees deep in silver, so it is what it is as we take this take on silver for today's video. So why I believe silver is going to stay low for the next 10 years. Before getting into this, obviously it's one of those videos, it would be a joy if I'm absolutely wrong because I'm heavily invested. So it's a win-win, lose-lose, you know. I'm in it with anybody else that's passionately involved in it. But I'll show some pieces off here as I talk on what we're going to be talking, and I'll show these Britannias here. So why I think silver is going to be staying low in price for the next 10 years plus, because since I've been here, I've seen, you know, the mood really shift. And then also I've got involved in another market, and just for my time here, you know, 5 years plus, it's been a lot's happened in silver's name and in the game of silver. I'm focusing mainly on silver here today on this video. And one of the things that I've seen that's led to this new course, a new idea, a new way of thinking is that industry, I would say first and foremost, investment industry just is not interested in silver. You know, the physical, what we're all talking about, what we're all stacking, and what anybody watching this video is mainly involved in also. They are not interested. Investment industry, I know silver is an industry metal as we do a ping test. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. Yep, that's the real deal. One more time. Investment industry is not interested in silver for an investment purposes. It's used in industry, and you know, it's inelastic. It must be used in cars and every type of, and the field is getting bigger and bigger and larger. But we've seen it there forever now. You know, it's been used since Roman times for payment, and it's evolved into that, into what it is today. And you could add that definitely to the reasons as to why it's going to stay at the price it is, because people say if it went up, then cost of things would go up. But then, you know, it's out there that there's small amounts in there. But I think it's found a place now, whereas it's not like all of us silver stackers are the smartest guys in the room. Like, hey, we know this big secret, you know, there's silver in there. It's been put and given a title and an assignment and a price, and it's staying there. You know, you don't have millionaires secretly stacking, you know, bunkers and bunkers of this stuff because they know it's going to be valuable at a later date. This is just from how I perceive and see it. So I think it's been given this one status and this one purpose and this one price, and it's going to stay in between there. Obviously, us stacking it on top of knowing it's a hedge and investment, not an investment, insurance and the likes of, know that there's a possibility that you can have that bonanza bingo blow up effect, and you know, you can gain on that end. So that's a multiplier that we're looking forward to. But those who are in money, have money and deal with big money in stocks and, you know, markets and all the forth, don't seem to be interested in that. We seem to be the smartest guys in the room, and that's just us silver stackers. And so looking at that, I see it as it's playing that one purpose in industry and no other. It's had that one price in industry and no other. Investment industry isn't interested in that. You have your paper and you have your physical. You know, a lot of the times people criticize the virtual, we should call it, but they have no problems invested in it virtually. So, you know, the paper, whereas we all know what that can happen with that, and it can shoot to nothing. The belief and the power and the crowd are back in the virtual, and that's just that. You know, nothing's changed. We've had crashes, we've had corrections. You know, you have a crash, you pick yourself up, you get back on. If you crash your car once or whatever, is it the end of the world? And that's just the mindset that I see. You know, we're having crashes, people pick themselves back up, they get back in the markets. Yes, trust is lost, but as you can see, if a market does well, which they can manipulate to do well, people have no problem flocking back to that market, which is a big problem, I know, but there doesn't seem to be nothing we can do to change that. So I see it that people are now looking at this, and this is one of the reasons why I believe silver's going to stay low forever and ever, because people are heavily invested in the virtual, the non-physical, and they have no problem putting their belief and backing behind that. And we're talking there's millions upon millions in pounds and dollars that are backing virtual, and it's got nothing to do with physical. That is going to keep the price of physical, manipulated as it is, where it is, down in the dumps for the next couple of decades. Getting back and touching upon the same, I would say, looking at it once again, silver technically in the physical form can't be seen as an investment. People want to, and this is I'm referring to another reason as to why it can stay low, people want to be able to put their money into something they feel is going to make them money. Yes, we all know that it's not that. Believe you me, many people have got into silver and thought it was that, found out that it wasn't, and had to backtrack. But it's when it's not got that title, when it can't be looked at like that, then straight away people are not going to be interested in it. And that's going to be another massive reason as to why the price is going to stay low. People looking to put their money into something in any type of form of investment. There's 1,001 scam types of investments out there, but they're investments. There's Ponzi scams. People get caught in these traps every day because they're constantly looking to put their money into something. When you pull up silver for somebody that's looking to put their money into something, even as a form of a scam, you know, people call us suckers for buying this stuff, even though we get the physical at the end. You know, they see it like only the dealers win. And it's very easy to see that because we're the so-called suckers pumping our money into it and getting nothing but a dead, you know, piece of metal at the end. And that's the way some people perceive it. It could be looked at as a Ponzi scam depending on who you're talking to. But the fact that it's not a form of investment for those that believe, okay, can I put $10,000 in physical? You know, even though paper is classed more of as an investment because you can trade it, it's very extremely liquid. Physical doesn't have the same qualities, and that's another major reason as to why I see it being held back for the next couple of decades, mainly referring to the physical here. Same applies to gold, but the mindset, as we all know, and even those that are high pump silver would tell you gold's going to go first. You know, nations, kings, and whatever. It just has the more prestigious status, which puts silver even at more of a loss when you look at it like that. So this is another reason as to why I see it not working and staying at a very low price for the next decade plus. Also, and another reason as to why I see silver staying down in the dumps for decades upon decades upon decades is going to be cryptos. I've mentioned this 101 times, but when we're talking cryptos, I think cryptos put silver's next step or jump or increase in price. It pushed it back decades. You know, it was a disruptive innovation. That's what cryptos was. We all know it's done. It's came along, disrupted the market, and created a whole new market. Now, if we was to have something, another disruptive innovation come along, you could pretty much write this off altogether. You know, when we're talking cryptos, what I hear all the time going back on it is that, you know, your Bitcoin is nothing. It's air. You know, it's nothing. It can go to zero. The metals can't. But one thing I think those pumping that are failing to understand is, yes, metals can never be worth nothing. Anything, there's many things that can be worth nothing and many things that can have to be worth something. We could be talking about a bloody apple. You know, you're not getting it for free, but it doesn't mean that money is going to run behind that. If anything, the general mindset now is people have no problem, industry, millionaires, billionaires have no problem pumping their money behind something that can be worth nothing tomorrow. Because within, I don't know, the 50 years it could take, that's always going to be worth something to shoot up in price and reach its true potential. You can have that nothing, be it stock, be it cryptocurrency, have a roller coaster ride in between the 50 years and just, make millionaires and billionaires on the highs and be worth the so-called nothing on the lows, but still keep them roller coasting back. And I refer to that at the time of this video. Bitcoin is also coming back into new highs. And this is the something that people mentioned on the last pump that would be worth nothing. And yet here we are again, of those that chose to play in that roller coaster of a playground, making gains again. Yes, the horror stories, it can be worth nothing. You can lose your money. I like to play in between. So take out cash out gains and pump it into my metal. So I think I'm playing it the best of both worlds. I don't know how others play it. Some have cashed out everything they own and just gone full. Regardless, people are still making money over there. And that's the problem. Whenever you have something like this, that type of disruptive innovation, it's going to absolutely slaughter the main physical. You have your main pumpers, from Mahoney to Morgan and the likes of the super main pumper. And you, from the words, whenever I do hear, I can feel their knees buckling a little because they're seeing how far, that great day is getting pushed back. We're seeing how politics are working in terms of it's gone beyond kicking the can down the road. They can pick it up and just, lob it forever. So we all know it has to come to an end, but how long? That's ultimately what it is. And it's all of these things combined as to why I see silver price staying low for the foreseeable future for a very, very, very long time. We're talking a decade plus. I'm fully on that. Now, ultimately, does that mean it's game over, lights out, hey, set up and run? No. Depending on why you got into it, obviously, that shouldn't really make a difference. What have I done to combat a lot of the things that I'm referring to is if we take a look at the coins, some of the coins I have in the background, when we take a look at these, and this is why I've always seen the benefit in both. If you're not selling and you don't care and you have the decades to wait, it's not a problem. But if you do want to tuck into, remember, just like any other form of anything that can be an investment, if you want to cash out gains, why shouldn't you? And I've done this, as you see in the background, from aggressively picking up some of these collector coins. Anything I've got here that I can sell for double the price when I pick that up, this just being a prime example, I think is a good buy. And this is why whenever I'm sharing the new videos or people asking me about collector coins, and I'm saying, look, you're here, right here and now. Pick up what's here, right here and now. And, it can go on. So when we're down in the dumps for the next decade plus, now, time release, I can sell this for double what I paid for it. Who knows what I can sell this for in 10 years' time. And this is the benefit I see in picking up a lot of these collector pieces. Yes, everything in here, all these collector pieces that I have, may not have been as hot or may not even be able to be sold for a profit, but I still have that option. It's not tied down to the spot price. It rides outside of that, and this is the main purpose as to why I picked them up. If I want to be able to pick up more of the main low-grade foundation coins, as mentioned in the past, I can do that. And I'm not only just locked into this or physical. I always want to be able to adapt and move with the market. When I got into this, I didn't think it could be taking this long. I knew it could take a long time. I'll tell you, even from YouTube land, I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I've had messages in the past from a lot of certain YouTubers that a lot of people couldn't stop screaming about they're waiting on his return. And I know why they left, and it was real positive conversations we had, because at the time they may have been in the thought or train of thought that it was going to be happening any time now. We're going to get this boom any time now. And some may have purchased in the 211 highs or whatever. And when it just went down and when it wouldn't move along, it can take the wind out some, and then they just fizzle out. But this is why, for myself, taking this course of action, getting into 2-ounce kooks, 1-ounce collector coins and pieces, it keeps things fresh and alive. And I'm hedging against also the main foundation staying down in the dumps forever and ever. So this is the course of action I've taken. I know it's a possibility. I know it's going to happen. But I also know I can tuck into some of my pieces. If it goes down low, I want to be able to pick up more. So I can take a lot of these pieces that I purchased and go on and purchase, the same foundation coins at a much lower price. How long? Well, just as the answer is how long or when's it going to blow up in price, there is no answer. How long do you think it's going to be? Do you think of you have the mindset that any time now, any moment now, we're going to shoot up in price? Or you know, never, ever, ever. It looks more like, without being too doom and gloom, we may get that magical moonshot in silver when, you know, the sky's falling. It just looks like that at times, and then we may get a spike, and as we're in current spikes right now, and not obviously anything to put people in the green. Gold's doing a lot better, yes indeed, but no one can really call it. But as we get more innovative tech coming out, as we get more people running towards things like cryptocurrencies, and who knows whether you know as to why cryptos are currently shooting up and why people are running to put their money behind it. Reports say it's China, it's India, you know, it's people, Sweden bringing out their coin, and you know, the Facebook coin can come along and add more disruption to the industry. No one can really put their finger or hand on it, but what it does show is more people are running towards that, and that's where they know that some form of this investment is. And it's always going to be with the safest of the safest, I believe, will always be metals, but it's not the best in terms of investment, even though we know it's not that. So I'll still be picking up these pieces as moving forward. I'll still be selling these pieces to help me staying involved with what we see here. But I think a lot of the purchasing I done from silver was done in the earlier years. Moving forward, I want a bigger dip or drop so I can go ahead and purchase more, but it's neither here or there. You know, in the end, I ultimately believe we're going to be down in the dumps for a long time. I can't see it shooting up anytime soon, but I'm content with that. The steps I've taken is everything you see here from the collector coins, and just weighing it out and seeing how it goes. If I do need to liquidate, then, you know, that shouldn't be a problem. I've got these collector pieces exactly for that. So I'm going to wrap this one up, guys, but I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think it's any moment now? Can you give a breakdown as to why you believe that? Is a ratio at 200 to 1 even higher indication? You know, I know we're damn near touching 100 to 1 at time of this video. Do you think the ratio is still playing a massive role in terms of indication as to, you know, the next recession? Do you think the next recession, whether we see a market crash or a housing crash, the trigger point, the catalyst, or do you just see no end in sight and silver specifically just keep on going down and down and down into the dumps? Regardless of whatever that is, go ahead and let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments, guys. Once again, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.